What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Warcross by Mary Lou. So this was a book that, even though Mary Lou and I are not always on the best of terms, like, I've read a lot of her stuff and it's always hit or miss for me, but when I saw Warcross, I was really excited about it. It seemed really interesting because we're in this cyberpunk, like, futuristic world. It's very Tron, Ready Player One, Eye of Minds type of setting where we have this, like, huge immersive online experience that is dominating everybody's lives, and our main character, Amika, is a bounty hunter. She's just trying to get by. She's a pretty great hacker, and she accidentally hacks herself into this, like, huge important game of Warcross and attracts the attention of the creator of this entire, like, online immersive experience because he wants her to try to find this person who is trying to take this entire site down. So it was a really interesting premise, and honestly I feel like Mary Lou did a really good job with the world building, like, especially with the technologies and how all of that kind of played into it. It felt really tangible and I really liked that a lot. However, my friend read this first, and we read a lot of the same books, and she said that she was really excited about it, she loved it, and then she got halfway through and was like, no. And she even told me, she was like, I was gonna recommend this book to you, but then I got, through it, and I was like, nah, no, you don't want to read this. So I was like, why? Why don't I want to read this? Like, why not? So I had to know for myself, and let me tell you, this book is so unbelievably predictable. Like, it uses tropes that YA uses all the time. Like, it uses so many of them, and so it's very predictable. It's very easy to see where this, like, whole story is gonna go. Like, when I started it and the character started getting introduced, I was like, yeah, we're probably going in this direction. And then I got halfway through, and I kid you not, I was talking to my mom, I predicted the end of this book almost to a T, because that's just how predictable it is. So it gets kind of boring because there aren't any stakes. You know exactly what's going to happen. And the whole thing about tropes is that, like, tropes can be really fun. Like, tropes are totally fine, but you gotta make them interesting. And unfortunately, the world itself was not enough to make it interesting because the characters are extremely flat. The characters are really not executed very well. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, I keep forgetting Amika's name. All I can remember about her, like, off the top of my head, is that she has rainbow hair. There's really nothing else to her. She's just main character is main character because she is the main character. And, like, love interest is the love interest because why wouldn't he be the love interest? And, like, all of the stuff. There isn't really anything here. There's nothing, like, to their characters that you can really latch onto that makes these dynamics interesting. It's just like, oh, here are our characters, and this is the trope that they fit into, and this is the direction that we're going, which is really boring. There's just nothing there, and it's really unfortunate because, like I said, the world building is done really well, and I do like the whole cyberpunk aspect of it, but that too has been done a lot of times. Like, even this world that she's created isn't anything new either, so it just felt really predictable, it felt super familiar, and it just makes it, as, like, the farther you get in the book, the more boring it just seemed to be. And because of that, I have no interest in reading the second book in the series. It's only a 2-book series, but I know exactly what's going to happen. I could pretty much predict to you exactly what's going to happen in that book. I highly doubt there's anything in it that's going to be anything new, and I just don't really care what happens to Amika and her story because I don't know anything about her. I just know that she has rainbow hair and that she's a hacker. Like, that's literally it. There wasn't anything here that I could super sink my teeth into, which just really took down the reading experience. I will say, though, this still is a fun read, and that is because of the online aspect. Like, it is really fun, it's really colorful, it felt really vivid, so it is a fun book to read. And honestly, if I had read this, like, way back when I was super into, like, Hunger Games and Divergent, I probably would have really enjoyed this book. That's actually when I read Mary Lou's first series, which was Legend, Prodigy, Champion. I actually never got to Champion, but I think I would have liked it better then. So maybe if you're newer to the YA genre, that would be a good time to pick up this book, but unfortunately I've just read so much in the YA, like, category that I knew exactly where this book was going. There wasn't anything new here, and unfortunately the characters just weren't interesting enough to back it up. So I am giving this book a C-. Like I said, it can be a fun read, but it can also be super boring and super annoying because of how predictable it is. So would I recommend it? It's going to entirely depend on your reading tastes and what you've read in in the past, so take that as you will. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!